ICS Vortex. How are you doing?
Better now that you're here with your bottle of red wine. Thank you very much, sir.
So today we're gonna talk a little bit about your journey as a metal vocalist. And the first question that actually comes with is that do you recall when you heard metal music for the first time?
Even before I heard metal music, I guess, but that was back in the 70s, and there was not really metal, so there was rock and roll, but there was Kiss, and we had some Kiss cards when we were kids. Even before listening to rock or Kiss, I knew it would be fantastic because they looked like Satan, and it was very different to like Sunday church.
Yeah.
So it was instant attraction when I saw it, and yeah, just a love relationship ever since.
So was Kiss the type of band that made you become a musician?
Yeah, for sure. When I heard Kiss Alive too, I knew that's what I want to do.
So you started your journey in a band called Penthouse Pets. Am I right?
No, it was called Psychos. That was the first band, and we misspelled it beautifully.
But that was, you were a drummer originally.
Sure, yeah.
So at what point of time you decided that it's sort of time to move into vocals and guitars?
Lamented Souls, I was drumming there, and then we just switcherooed, and yeah, it's been like that ever since.
So how did you fall in love with like extreme metal then? Were there like some specific bands that sort of pulled you over to the dark side? Or?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm from Langhus, which is a small town. I was in the marching band and playing drums in the marching band, and the guy who was going before me in the marching band, that was the original drummer of Mäenpää.
Okay.
So I grew up doing the same rehearsal place as them. And of course, they were the cool ones, and they were fucking Mayhem. So, yeah, that rhymes.
So, as you already mentioned, like Lamented Souls was quite important for you to pick up the microphone and become also a guitarist. But how did that happen? Was it like a necessary thing that there wasn't like any guitarist vocalist available and you hopped in, or how did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, we started out as groovy death metal, and then we slided more and more into doom. And it just was natural. I was the better vocalist.
Okay, and then you just started singing.
Yeah.
When you started doing singing more, were there like some vocalists that you looked up to and sort of tried to mimic first before you went to your own direction, or how did that happen?
Of course. Ozzy. For me, Ozzy is fucking God. You can say Dio, you can say whatever, but Ozzy for me, he's the man. He does everything right. He just has a beautiful way of making his vocal lines. They're just always on spot. So yeah, Ozzy. I would sing second voice, second fiddle to Ozzy, especially on the live albums. Is that Speak of the Devil or something?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I was listening to that a lot and just singing along. Also to Kiss, but that album mostly.
Did it take like long time to figure out the right technique for you, or were you like natural with the high voice already, or?
I've always been singing since I was 4 fucking years old. So
okay.
That was my first recording, and apparently I did it right from the start.
Okay, so you were never like losing your voice or anything. You were there in the beginning already, or?
Well, I did have an operation like taking mandler, I don't know what that translates into.
Yeah.
The intestines or something.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I was my throat got sore every fucking week. When I was like 15, 16, we were rehearsing and I had a constant bad throat. But took them, and that was the most cleverest thing I ever did, I think.
So were you also like singing only clean songs, or were there like some harsh vocals in already in that time, or?
Mostly clean back then, sure, yeah.
Okay, so how did those like harsh vocals came into the picture then?
In 98 with Borknagar, I'm sure, yeah. At the arcade course.
Was that sort of like a big step for you as a singer also to take that step and start doing those? Or?
Just natural, because the music demanded it. It was just easy.
Were there like some harsh vocalists that you were like looking up to around that time, or?
Yeah, Corton Asian, I guess. Yeah.
Were you doing some like battery stuff, or were you in so far in your career that you were only singing your own songs at that time, or?
Oh, it's only my own songs. Yeah. Yeah, because that was in '98, so I was already a big boy.
Were you like rehearsing the voice a lot at rehearsal places? Did that take like long time to get right technique for harsh screaming? It's way different than clean singing.
The first time I did this was in the studio. I never tried it before, and we did all the vocals in one day, because the drummer took up most of the space. So I was just straight into the microphone, and that's.
And you still had voice left after the day, or?
I can't remember. Probably. It's actually easier to do this if you do it right. You have vocalists like Björn from Avant-Garde, from 666 International, for instance, and he just uses his voice. He has no technique.
Yeah.
It's just fucking pure anger and volume, and yeah.
But you found the style like immediately, that you didn't have to sort of adjust your voice in any way, or?
Not to my knowledge. It just felt natural, yeah.
So what kind of memories do you have when it comes to the first tours that you did? Were you ready as a vocalist to do like many shows in a row, or was it like a party after party and a big learning experience, or?
It was a lot of drinking. I don't remember much, actually.
Okay. When there were early days, did you had any kind of like way to warm up the voice? And do you have today any way you warm up before the show, or do you just do it old school way that you go up on stage and start singing?
I used to like try to do some warm up stuff. Like,
yeah, scales.
Yeah, but I stopped that, and now I drink a little before show, and that's fine.
So that sort of like relaxes your vocal cords a bit.
Yeah, because this is the most important thing. You can, as long as you're not nervous when you go on stage, that's key. If you're nervous, you'll fuck up.
That's the worst for you personally.
Sure.
Are there like any kinds of like foods or drinks that you try to avoid before the show, that you have felt that they harm your vocal cords somehow, or on the opposite side, something that you want to take that you felt that they help you with the singing?
No, but it's a good tip is just not to eat 2 hours before you go on stage. You'll just fucking stand there and burp and be disgusting. So don't eat 3 hours.
So you have obviously been involved with a lot of different bands like Dimmu, Borgir, Arcturus, Borknagar, Lamented Soul. The list goes on and on and on with you. Are there like some specific albums on your discography that you could pinpoint where you have felt that you've taken a big step forward as a singer? Learned something new about yourself or your voice, or? I guess that 98 Borknagar album is most likely important because you started screaming, for example. But
no, that's the only album that I can, because it was the first one. I mean, it really meant something. But yeah, no.
Do you feel that you are like with each album sort of progressing and doing evolution also as a singer, learning something new about yourself?
No.
You don't?
No, it's not about that. It's about the lyrics. That's the most important thing for me, especially if I can sing stuff that other people have written, and that I'll just sing it. But to write the lyrics and to get the feel of the song and to make everything work, that's the most important thing.
And that's where you feel that you are sort of like evolving with each album that
No, I think I was always pretty good at that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. What were like your parents' reactions when they heard you first time doing like metal stuff? Were they like happy? Were they shocked? What kind of reaction you got?
They were both into music, like and they were doing Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young stuff, recording this when I was a kid. So very good memories from that. But yeah, they didn't understand it at first, I guess. But they grew into it. So now they're semi-proud, I think.
Yeah, they are like supporting you what you do. Yeah, of course.
So that's nice.
Thank you for taking the time to do this with us.
That's my pleasure.
And as a last question, I would like to know that are there like any kind of advice that you would like to give to a young metal vocalist who is just about to start their journey? Anything that comes into your mind?
To build a song, you need all the elements. You need to have something to say. I think that's the most important thing. And it can be anything. So lyrics are important. It's not something that you do in the last 5 seconds in the studio.
Thanks a lot for taking the time to do this with us.
Sure, my pleasure.